Here we are, week 13, the last week of doing content for Psychology 1, and we're going to be looking at the effect of stress on our health. So this whole chapter, this whole section in this video is going to be looking at what effect can stress have on our health. Now we're going to look at the risk factors, of course. I mean, it's important because stress can certainly have impact on our health. But we're also going to spend some time looking at how do we manage our stress and how do we sort of compensate for the effect of stress in our lives. What can we do in terms of what we do, what we eat, what we experience? What are the things that we can do to positively affect our stress and health? So this can be a particularly useful subject matter because certainly as a student you're going to go through a series of stress just because of when assignments are due, when tests are due, and then you're going to have a health effect on that. Maybe you're going to be more fatigued. Maybe you're going to feel like you don't have enough sleep. Maybe you're going to feel more stressed as you would express, and that you're feeling short of time, short of breath, short. So some of what we'll discuss will be the things that you could probably do to improve your ability to manage the stress that you're going to experience as a student. You can't make the stress disappear. And we'll look at, and I probably will talk about it, I think I did in last week, looking at the difference between stress, distress, and eustress. And so what can we do to contribute to our ability to handle those things that we consider to be distress and turn them into just stress? And what are the things that are considered to be stress that we could translate and find a way to make into eustress? Alright, I hope you enjoy this chapter. Good luck, and we are almost done, just got the last little piece of work to do. So good luck, and I hope you've enjoyed this semester. I have certainly enjoyed presenting this material to you and looking at your journals and looking at your assignments. So good luck to you all, and for those of you who I may see in my online classes next semester, look forward to seeing you. Bye now.
Now, as a reminder, when we look about health psychology, what we're trying to keep in mind is that they're trying to help make people a lot healthier. And the primary focus is understanding and lessening the impact of stress on our life and creating really healthier people to deal with it. So when we look at some of the kind of conditions by which people are affected because of stress sometimes, we start with coronary heart disease. And this is caused by the narrowing or blockage of the coronary arteries, and it's one of the leading causes for deaths in North America. Now, coronary heart disease is attributed to, if you look at some of the lifestyle issues, the sedentary lifestyle is the largest risk. So the more relaxed, settled, and sitting and sitting and sitting and not doing much activity. So a job with most of your time sitting is a good example. Less than 20 minutes of exercise 3 times a day, 3 times a week, which isn't a lot. I mean, it's just basically walking from here to the corner and back 3 times a week is not enough. Having high serum cholesterol levels, cigarette smoking, and obesity are lifestyle issues that, if we contribute to those and by participating in those elements, contribute to coronary heart disease. Now, the family history component can be both genetic and behavioral. Genetic being that there being a genetic component that is passed on to children. The behavioral is being raised in a family where perhaps snacking on junk food is a regular habit that you've lived with, and as you get older, there are probably behavioral traits you pick up yourself. And then job strain, the stress and job strain. Well, blood platelets release substances that build up plaque, and this can be just due to this sedentary type of approach. So your job stress, it can contribute. If you're going into nursing, there's an awful lot of stress associated with that. If you're going into business, if you're going into childcare, there's a lot of variation in terms of the amount of kind of stress that you'll feel. And if you're not prepared, that is to say you're not exercising, you're not eating correctly, you're not looking after your health, then these will contribute to the other kinds of conditions that are affected by lifestyle and stress-related issues. Now, the number 2 killer is cancer. It's the second cause of death next to heart disease. And if you look at the risk factors, an unhealthy diet is big. Smoking, another big cause. Excessive alcohol consumption, promiscuous sexual behavior, most notably becoming sexually active in your early teens, especially for females, and stress. These are contributing factors and increased risk towards some forms of cancer. And it's an important feature because these are things we can do something about. You know, we could eat healthier, we could stop smoking, we could moderately drink, we can manage our sexual activity, and we can, in more cases than not, be able to manage our stress in a healthier way. Now, in addition to coronary heart disease and cancer as being stress-related diseases, so is the effects of AIDS. Now, what's important here is the immune system protects us from infection and disease. It also identifies and destroys any bacteria or viruses or funguses and parasites that are considered foreign objects and foreign material to the body. Acquired immune deficiency syndrome, now that's what AIDS is caused by HIV, the human immune deficiency virus. The HIV attacks the immune system, and AIDS, which is the immune system, is so damaged by the HIV attack that it can no longer fight infection and disease. Now, stress in the immune system is a unique area of study. The neuroimmunology, is a field which psychologists and biologists and medical researchers collaboratively study the effects of the psychological effects on the immune system. And so it's considering our emotions, our thinking, and our behavior, and the impact that it can have on our immune system. AIDS is just one of these areas that is seriously affected by our ability to cope with stress and the impact of our not able to handle that stress. Now, there are many factors that can influence what degree stress is going to affect us. And so some of these are personal factors that can affect stress. Now, a couple of these terms, or many of these terms actually, you may have some familiarity with. Optimism versus pessimism. Optimism, or positive thinking, cognitive restructuring or reframing difficult situations and seeing a problem in a more perhaps positive way as an opportunity, the positive self-talk, or thinking your way into a new way of doing things. Now, pessimism is where you generally expect bad outcomes and you have this sense of hopelessness. That is to say that nothing really will happen really good, that bad things are going to happen, and there's nothing that I can do about it. Now, these two conditions, if you will, optimism and pessimism, are related to another, which is called hardiness. Now, hardiness has been long argued as to whether it's genetic or whether there's how hardy you are as a child is how hardy you will be as an adult. But hardiness is a combination of three psychological qualities, and it's shared by people who can handle high levels of stress and remain healthy. The first is commitment, and this is to commitment both to your work and commitment to your personal life and being effective and healthy about it. That is to say, when you start to do something, then you stick with it. And that sort of hardiness of commitment, when you, for example, in an online class, you commit to doing the online class and you stick with it. It's your commitment. You get things done and you do things well and on time. Control, this is, you do not see themselves, or people who do not see themselves as victims. These are people who are hardy. They don't see themselves as victims of what life brings. They believe they have control over consequences and outcome. That is to say that they feel as if they have control over their life. Life doesn't happen to them. They have an influence and control over their life. And that is, again, somebody who is hardy. And then the third is challenge. Act to solve their own problems. They welcome challenges in life, and they view challenges as opportunities for growth and improvement. Now, people who are less hardy tend not to have strong commitment to things, because then they start to feel that, well, if things don't start to work out, then maybe it's not for me and it's not good for me. They don't feel as if they have control. The world's out to get me. The world is, my enemy. And the challenge is not a challenge, it's a problem. Now, in addition to optimism, pessimism, hardiness, or what degree of hardiness, another very important element is personal supports. These tangible assistance that we get from other people. This might be information, emotional support, the kind of networking and support we can get just by having friends around us when things get difficult and get tough. Now, when we look at, in addition to personal factors, we can also start to look at lifestyle and health issues and what they do to help us deal with stress. And so when we consider this, we have, well, clearly smoking. If you stop if you smoke, and if you haven't started, don't start. If we look at alcohol, it doesn't mean no drinking. It just means drink in moderation, and learn what moderate drinking is for whether you're a male or female or for your body size. But drink in moderation is reasonable, but be reasonable about drinking in moderation. As far as diet, there's a five-a-day plan, which basically says eat at least 5 servings of fruit and vegetables daily. Read labels of processed foods, and avoid high foods in saturated fat, trans fat, and sodium. Now, food does get labeled now. It's not always easy to read, but look for saturated fats, that the percentage of saturated fats are low. Watch out for sodium, cholesterol. These are all important elements to be aware of. Now, another element in lifestyle that's really important to be prepared for and manage stress better is exercise. The benefits of exercise is increased efficiency of the heart. It enables more blood to be pumped with each beat, reduces the resting pulse rate, and improves circulation. Exercise also raises HDL. This is the good cholesterol. There's bad cholesterol. It's not good for your heart. It's not good for your arteries. And then there is good cholesterol. It helps get rid of the LDL, which is the bad cholesterol, and removes plaque buildup in artery walls. Exercise also burns extra calories, which enables weight loss or maintenance. That is, weight maintenance to occur. And exercise makes bones denser, stronger. It helps prevent osteoporosis. Moderates the effect of stress and gives more energy and increased resistance to fatigue. It enables us, during the general adaptation syndrome, to lengthen and tolerate resistance longer and more healthfully. And it benefits, as this exercise benefits the immune system. It's increased natural killer cell activity. It helps us fight disease. Now, part of being able to deal with stress is learning how to manage stress. And there's a variety of different ways, and I'm just going to reference a few of them. And I've already started with this exercise. If you're not already exercising, start with some degree of exercising, even if that's walking, for 20 to 30 minutes, 4 or 5 times a week. Wash your car, cut the lawn, walk down to do your grocery shopping where you're picking up vegetables and fruits as best you can. So exercise is about doing something that raises your heart rate and does so for a sustained period of about 15 to 20 minutes. And then as you build more ability and you get more competent, you can increase that activity if you choose. It's really just about being more active. Progressive relaxation, learning how to relax. When you do feel stress, knowing how to relax. And progressive relaxation is not unlike just resting and getting in a relaxed state, breathing steadily, and begin with thinking about a ball of light starting at your feet and gently rolling up your body through to your head, and feeling the progression of relaxation as this warm ball of light rolls up your body. And that would be an example of progressive relaxation. Having hobbies allows us to have distractions, doing things that we get genuine joy out of, and interests that are intrinsically motivating to us because we like them, not because of what they give us. And these things are also good management of stress. Taking up meditation. Meditation can be done in a very quiet, secluded, seated position, but meditation can also be a moving meditation. And it's really just about having a singleness of thought, focus on breathing, and then less focus on the other distractors and hassles that enter the mind. Stress inoculation is a process by which you mentally repeat over and over in your head how you want to handle an otherwise stressful situation. So by practicing it in your head about what you will do in a stressful situation will enable us to better behave in that way when that stress arrives. Yoga, a very good overall coping mechanism. It's both physically enhancing as well as it is good for breathing and relaxation. And deep breathing. Participating or trying out the 5-5-5 of breathing. Inhale to the count of 5, hold your breath to the count of 5, and then exhale to the count of 5, and do that 5 times. Now, some of the benefits, we're going to go through some basic things that if you were to try these things, here's what will happen as a benefit. The first, in terms of changing lifestyle, will be, what if you tried to lose 10 pounds? So if you were a little overweight, drop 10 pounds. What would be the benefit of this? Well, the benefit would be pretty significant. A 34% decrease in triglycerides, 16% decrease in total cholesterols, an 18% increase in HDL. Remember, that's the good cholesterol. And then it also will start to reduce your blood pressure. Now, that's impressive just for 10 pounds. Now, 10 pounds, if you manage to do 2 to 2.5 pounds in a week, which is a healthy amount of weight loss, then it wouldn't take you very long, 5 weeks, and you'd be down, less than 5 weeks, 4 weeks, and you'd be down 10 pounds. Now, it also decreases the risk of diabetes. Now, in particular, type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes is known as the lifestyle diabetes, and that it's the way we eat and how we live our lives. It also would affect a decrease in sleep apnea, and this has to do with our breathing, in particular at night, and osteoarthritis, which of course affects as we get older, but you don't have to wait until you're 65 to have the effect of osteoarthritis. Now, if we carry on with this benefits of lifestyle change and consider, well, what if you added 20 to 30 grams of fiber to your diet each day? What are the benefits to this? Well, to add the fiber, it's not too hard to do. It's basically adding either grains, fruits, or vegetables will help add the fiber. And if you look at what are some of the benefits, well, it improves bowel functions, it reduces the risk of colon cancer and other digestive system diseases, it decreases total cholesterol, reduces blood pressure, and improves insulin function in both the diabetics and non-diabetics. And so it's very important to see the advantages of small changes in one's life and how that will generally enhance one's physical ability, physical health, and psychological health, which really helps the way we manage stress. Now, what if in our change we decide to engage in moderate physical activity every day? Now, this could be walking up and down stairs for 15 minutes, or spending 30 minutes washing the car, going for a walk, a bike ride, doing some exercise like aerobics. You don't have to be super heavy duty into it. You just need to raise your heart rate for 15 to 20 minutes. The benefits, well, there's quite a few. We're only going to mention some of the additional ones. Reduce feelings of anxiety and sadness, and increased bone density. Increased bone density makes your bones stronger, more susceptible, more able to hold you up and be able to do all the active things you might want to do. And it reduces the risk of diabetes, high blood pressure, and many other life-threatening diseases. Now, that's not the only thing that we can do. Now, some things are easier to do than other things, and this I know can be difficult. When I quit smoking myself, I did so on October 26, 1981. It wasn't really easy to do. However, it's an important thing to do. Stop smoking at any age. It doesn't matter how many years, and you increase your health, and there's many benefits. So some of the immediate benefits: improve circulation, reduce blood levels of carbon monoxide, stabilization of pulse rate and blood pressure, an improved sense of smell and taste, an improved lung function and endurance, and reduce risk of lung infections such as pneumonia and bronchitis. And these immediate and long-term effects occur, it doesn't matter after how many years of smoking. By quitting smoking, you start to get these benefits. The long-term benefits are the reduced risk of lung cancer, substantial decline each year, a decreased risk of other smoking-related diseases like emphysema and heart disease, and a decreased risk of cancer reoccurrence in those who have been treated with some form of cancer. And so being able to take control, take responsibility for our own health, better enables us to manage and cope with stress that will occur in everybody's life all the time. So the last thing I want to touch on is just what is the biopsychosocial model of health and stress. And this is a relatively new, but it's a powerful one, where it focuses on health as well as illness and holds that both are determined by a combination of biological, psychological, and social factors. And this is the model that is endorsed by many health psychologists. And so if you look at the sort of focuses the forces favoring health and wellness, you could see a lot of elements that you can be in control of, and some things that maybe you're not so much in control of. But the risk that that forces, working us against our illness, poverty, exploitation, violence, lack of exercise, poor diet. There's many things that we can manage and take control of ourselves. And so I really hope you take some comfort and some solace in terms of what we've discussed in this, and hope that you can make some changes in your life that will enable you to be able to manage your stress so much better, so that you can be healthier for both you and your family as you grow older, and not have to carry on suffering from some of the experiences that we've just overviewed very quickly. All right, everybody, this is the last video of the semester. Now, I know that leaves you with one test to do, but congratulations on getting yourself through. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. I've enjoyed this subject matter and putting these videos together for you, and I hope you have a great holiday, a good break, and look forward to seeing you back in the new year. Goodbye, everybody, and Merry Christmas.